Okay guys, this is the Angryprepper. Today is my bug out vest weekend, or at least the start of it, and it's not actually a weekend, it's an overnight, so sorry. This is more turning into a winter challenge, though last night I read it was going to get down to 32 degrees. Now I'm reading the low is going to be 36, so we'll see by tomorrow morning what the temperature is going to be, what the low is. So this is the bug out vest, right? I repacked it a little differently because I'm coming out here and not so much for an urban setup, right? So as you can see, I have 3 pouches on the front, blanket roll on the back, water container here, and my med kit on the other side here. So this is my food pouch with my food utensils and I guess like hot chocolates and things like that. This is I actually forgot what it was. Oh, this is my fire starting kit, my backup fire starting kit. My main is on my belt, and my ferro rod's in my pocket. So I have multiple ways of starting fires now, and I also have a lighter just in case. I also have my my headlamp in here in this pouch. So this is my fire starting kit and my headlamp, and this is my shelter system. So what this consists of is emergency blankets and emergency shelters all in one pouch with a couple plastic bags and a Tyvek bag in here. And then I put a shelter in here as well. That'll be the second. If the temperature drops too cold, I can close it off and bundle myself inside. I also have the firebox folding stove in here as well behind it, so it's not against my back. I also put another emergency blanket in here as a backup just in case one of these 3 rip. So there's another one in here as well. So I guess now I have to put it on and see what kind of a fool I really look like with this on. Stay tuned. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I look like a complete jerk with this on, but it's for a weekend. It's testing out the items in here, and are the items sufficient enough to keep you alive if you have to bug out, or if you just want to camp with this instead of a traditional camping bag. Again, this being a bug out vest, this should be on the urban channel, but it's not, so I put it on here because it's outdoor related. So we're going to, the next thing you guys are going to see is not me walking away, which I can't stand those footages. The next footage you're going to see is me building, or have my shelter built, and hopefully my fire going. All right guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, so this is my setup for the most part for tonight. I'm going to close off the top here, the head, which is right here, and leave the feet open. If the wind gets crazy, I'll cover it up, but for now, this is pretty much it. I'm going to set the fire right about here, and that should keep me warm for the night. Debating on not whether I should build a reflector wall because it's not going to get too cold tonight. At least that's what the app said. But then again, 3 different apps said 3 different things, so go figure. Anyway, this is pretty much it. The next video you might see the fire going and me settled in, or if not, you'll see it in the morning. But this is what I had in my vest. I had the mattress tick inside the wool blanket, which is on top of the mattress tick, the reflective blanking on the ground to minimize any heat loss, with the mattress tick being stuffed with leaves. And then as you can see here, my shelter with the reflector facing in, of course. So when I get the fire going, it reflects it back down to me. So, needless to say, this is going to be a shitty night. Not comfortable at all, but this is a bug out vest weekend or overnight. The scenario is there was an emergency. I dropped my bug out bag. I hightailed it into the forest. I'm making my way to my bug out location with just my vest, and I have 24 hours to get there, and this is my first stop for the night kind of scenario, and this is what it would look like. This took all of maybe 20 minutes to set up. The mattress took about 15 minutes to fill it up. So 5 minutes to set up my shelter and 10 minutes or so to fill up the mattress tick. Alright guys, stay tuned. This is my setup. This is everything I carried in my vest. The only thing that I didn't strap onto the vest was the Silky Boy katana saw. Other than that, this is what you're looking at. I decided to build a firewall after all, as you can see there. And it's pretty warm in there, but that's right now. So the fire died down. I mean, completely off actually. There was some smoldering left. I reignited it with some birch bark. And this is what I got now. So, you see any birch bark in the forest, do yourself a favor, grab some for the night. So, if your fire starts to die down, you can get it going again, just like this. And this is with minimal moving around and having to get up and collect more wood. Alright guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, so thank you for staying with the video. This is my last portion. Obviously, I'm doing it at home because I had to hike out at 4:30 in the morning, which was a Saturday morning, and it was too dark to film. And even using the car headlights, it still was bad. It was bad. You couldn't see anything. So I said, screw it, wait till I get home. So now here's the last portion of this video. Now, this thing worked out great, right? I had my reservations about it. I thought it was going to suck and not be a good outing. It wound up being great. It worked out just fine. So the first thing that worked out, which was more of a concern for me than anything, was being comfortable. Once I stuffed the mattress tick with the dead leaves and I had a nice padding underneath me, the rest of the night was cake. It didn't get as cold as I thought it was going to get. I think it reached down to, I think it might have been 42, 43 degrees, so that wasn't bad at all. There was some rain and there was some wind, but the shelter held up fine and I didn't get wet. I did have a fire going, as you saw in the last video, the last portion, sorry. I had a nice fire going. It wasn't a long fire. It was a little smaller this time, and it kept me warm. So we're going to break down not so much the entire vest, but what I was carrying in the inner part of the vest, which was where you put the front plate for the front and the back plate for the rear. I also forgot to mention, if you guys didn't catch this, the bushcraft belt was in play, as you can see. That was part of the plan. I forgot to mention it in the beginning, in the first video preparing for this, and earlier in this video. I forgot to mention it. This was in play. I didn't use anything from here other than my fire starting kit and my knife. But other than that, you can absolutely do a few nights with your bushcraft belt and a tactical vest if you choose to. Now, as far as keeping me warm, I only used a wool blanket. It was a queen size wool blanket, allowing me to wrap myself nice and warm. The cold started to seep through, so I did use a contractor bag and pulled it over my feet, so about my waist, if you will, and then I was warm for the rest of the night, which was surprisingly, which was a surprising treat to have, to be warm in a plastic bag. I was almost living like a homeless person for the night, but you get the point. So now, we're gonna go into where I had my two main shelter systems, right? So I did use a ground cloth, and the ground cloth, as you saw in the previous segment, was my SOL emergency blanket. This thing kept the cold away from me, and I'm pretty sure reflected the heat from my body back up to me. This was a home run. Originally, I was just going to sleep on the mattress tick, but I said, why do that when you have this? And I put the mattress tick on top of this blanket, and it was fine. Now I carry this part, this ground cloth, if you will, in the front part of the vest, and I carried my main shelter, this, at the back part of the vest. I also snuck in there the firebox folding stove. Whether you're using the bush box or the firebox folding stove, they both fit in here fine. I put this in the back portion of the vest because you want the weight to be in the back. And as you can see, I had enough weight in the front. So this tactical vest worked out great for the bugging out scenario, but you can also use it for camping. If you're doing a quick overnight camping trip and you want to test your skills, or you just want to carry minimal gear, this worked out fine, because now it's on you as a giant jacket, if you will, right? A tactical vest. The weight's distributed nice and evenly. It's not a backpack. You're not leaning back and you're not leaning forward. It's on you evenly, and it keeps you steady. So I like that. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I like the way the weight was distributed across the body. Yes, I still felt like an asshole for wearing this, but it worked out. Do I see this becoming a trend? No. But if you're going to build a bug out vest, this is how you would do it. And for those of you that think I sound funny, it's because I have a cold. I think I was starting my cold before I went out on the trip. When I came back, it was a full-blown, disgust fest. So that's a little much. But anyway, the bug out vest worked out just fine. I am going to give it a shot one more time. We'll do it in the spring, because I think this is cold enough. If you can't carry, if it gets down to freezing and you only have the one wool blanket, to stay alive, what you're going to have to wind up doing is staying up partially, wrapping yourself in a blanket, using the second contractor bag, and you'd stay warm. Now, I had two contractor bags, a Tyvek ground cloth, my food and my fire starting gear, and a radio. The radio was to talk to the other guys that were up there. And I had my work gloves, and I had my winter gloves and winter socks rolled up in the bedroll, right? So if you're ever going to carry a bedroll, try to carry flat clothing material in here, right? So hats, socks, gloves, they fit just fine. You roll it up nice and tight. You strap it to your back, and you shouldn't have a problem. Now, the other thing I sort of screwed up on, and I didn't realize it until I got all the way to the campsite, was that I had this tail dragging on the ground the entire 1.25 miles. So they pointed it, the guys I was with pointed it out to me, and I fixed it. Going back to the car, I just made it shorter and just tuck it in. You don't want anything dragging on the ground. You don't want to get caught in anything, right? Other than that, I think this bug out vest trip was a success. Like I said, let you guys decide. You leave in the comment section whether I succeeded or I failed. You let me know in the comment section. Other than that, thank you for watching. This is the Angry Prepper. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can like and subscribe to my urban channel. And if you're into photography, you can like and subscribe to the Angry Lensman channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Tumblr. All right, guys? Thank you for watching.